Has enough time passed since the apparent soft reboot of the Fortnite storyline after the Chapter 4 end event? I mean, nothing has happened since, and if I'm honest, nothing really happened before. This season we have been introduced to the Society and the Underground, and I don't care for them. Well, I care for Jones. I've seen him at his lowest and his most euphoric, from losing his wife and kids, and even his grandchildren, and from John Jones pulling himself away from the Imagined Order to become the hero that we know today. And we shouldn't forget his blossoming relationship with Suri in the comics, but I'm still holding out for a Jones-Sloan get-together. But Hope's sister Valeria, do I care? Another apparent villain who wants everything, who currently adds no emotional value. Yes, the Society members have slightly intriguing backstories, but that needs to materialise into an emotional connection. One of my biggest annoyances for the Fortnite storyline is this silly amount of expedition we've had in the storyline over the last couple of years, and no answers. And just because stuff happens doesn't necessarily mean any answers. Geno's dematerialization, the time machine itself, Kato Thorn even coming, why? The time machine put us on the Chapter 5 map because it was attached to a rocket, and Kato Thorn came back due to prophecy, died off screen as well. Sloan also kind of planned the whole thing from Wilds, but Sloan's last message to Jones was really sweet, and I applaud Fortnite for that. So that was a good point. But everything just seems to happen because it happens. Problem is, there's never really any risks involved, which for me at times makes the cause seem empty. Now, Sloan did introduce some sort of risk. This is a goodbye from this me and that you, and whatever happens next, it may not be the same character. But again, that's really vague. Is he different because time has changed and he has now had different events, or the events after Chapter 4 has changed him? A good point that I think everyone misses. The scientist was doubting his decision to get rid of the Imagined Order and free in the 0 point, which should lead some to conclude that the Imagined Order hard line was to defend the universe from a greater threat. The Imagined Order was bad, but isn't there someone worse? Greater emphasised by Geno in the comics that no one likes, saying, "It's your turn now. Don't say I didn't warn you" type of thing. Of course, he may have had a trick up his sleeve, but that was years ago and we haven't seen him since. That would emphasise that the scientists may have made a big mistake with freeing the 0 point. But for us taking the story in, it leads us to different questions. I personally believe that Dr. Sloan's decision in Skyfire isn't so black and white. With the threat of the last reality, she took it upon herself to sacrifice a few loopers to save the Armyverse possibly. A action that should lead to a debate, and Fortnite doesn't do that enough. Fortnite hinges a lot on fan anticipation. Its Midas returning, its Singularity coming back, when's Geno's coming back. There's never really any substance to it. And of course, if any of them do come back and you're currently near a computer and you currently have Fortnite near you, remember to use creator code MrJLYII in the Fortnite item shop #ad #EpicPartner. Thank you very much. Fortnite has an abundance of characters and world building to give Marvel, DC and Adventure Time a run for their money, but wouldn't that be too much hard work for them? What we're trying to discuss in today's video has led many to dismiss anything that happened before this point, and I don't see how you could even step to that conclusion, and really vice versa. I don't see how you could argue it definitely hasn't affected the timeline. I really need to care about these characters, and just going from a plot to a plot to a plot with no real answers, risk, and sort of at least talking through the whole time machine thing was like, Jones, you have to do this, and that's it. And it wasn't, nothing else was thrown into the table, thrown into the mix, a curveball. Oh my god, is this going to happen? There's nothing. It's just, this happens, this happens, this happens. And that's mainly why I haven't talked about any of the storyline this season, because it's all in this video. Nothing else has happened since. So for me personally, completely leaving the story behind that we've grown with is ridiculous. To be fair, Chapter 4 Season 2 with the Syndicates had actual conclusion. Not that everyone liked it. Like, why was the River Guard and the Fox Clan even at logheads with each other? Especially Stray and Mizuki. They were siblings, family. And that's the stuff I want Fortnite to focus on. Like, I think I put it down to the original Fox Clan tweets. You remember those, yeah? So I believe it was Kondor. It matches the description. And from memory, I think Kondor worked for an emperor or empress, something around them lines. But an interesting line that Kondor will act upon any sort of wish for revenge. So you might not even need to mean it. You know in them old wives' tale, like say, don't even speak it. If you don't mean it, don't speak it. Imagine if Mizuki just went, I want revenge on the Fox clan. Kondor would appear, enact on it, and then it's done. Like, Stray knows she didn't mean it, but she said it, she spoke it, and she inadvertently put it into existence. Well, that's a really cool story trope, but mate, we're 5 years past the original tweet, so who knows? People talk about the battle pass not coming back being fair. Imagine new storyline, people. I mean, if you want to watch that, I will also put the video down in the description for that. So we're nearly a whole 2 months after the Chapter 4 end event, and we're still no wiser in knowing if it's a soft reboot, a hard reboot, or a reboot not at all. And that's just so typical of the Fortnite storyline. I've stopped hard going for the storyline because it wasn't the sense we wasn't getting story. We still got the society story and the underground come in, and it's some really interesting stuff, as I said, but it's not emotional. There's nothing to grit my teeth into. And it disappoints me, and that is the case, because it could be something brilliant. I've said before, I think Fortnite really needs to do their own comic, without Marvel, DC, or anybody else. Like, it doesn't have to even be the main timeline, it doesn't really have to be the main reality, it can be a different reality anywhere else. I am hopeful we don't dismiss the storyline that's come before. There's so much room to get our teeth into there. It's almost like a blank canvas. There's no need to reset the storyline. I see this argument all the time, and I think it's actually pathetic that you're even coming up with that. Like, some stuff you're not happy with, but they're so easily interchangeable with just a little bit of an imagination. But I'm hopeful the timeline before us still remains, and we might even still be in it, who knows. The question I want to ask is, what year are we in? The end event happened in 2019. Are we in 2024 or 2019? Or what do you think? Anyway, leave a like, comment, subscribe to the channel. It's been your boy, Mr. JLY. Till next time, bye bye.